I'm holding steady about 45, so that's good. Some of the ones with a lot of effects are going to kill me. It says we're live. With a lot of effects are going to kill me. It says we're live.
Here's the ad. And we're past the ad.
That's good.
Hey, this is Diva.
And this is Fiendish. Can you hear us?
They can hear us.
Woohoo! I've got 5 minutes by my watch, but I think we might be good to start a little bit early today, Diva.
That's fine.
Hi, this is Fiendish, and welcome to the DTC Roadshow. Today's is a special roadshow. We're touring the entries of the Get Up and Go contest, which just ended yesterday at noon. In news, there's not really any Dimension news. Mordecus posted some stuff about 3.3 items and how they won't be gated behind raids or PvP. So that tells me expect some dungeon drops, maybe artifact sets, or maybe just open world drops, which would actually be kind of nice. So I know Diva usually talks about contests, so here we go.
Well, news is pretty apparent on this contest, so Mars Attacks is still out there on the forums, so people who want to still create an entry for that one, you still have time. The deadline for that one is June 15th. That's about it for contests.
Yep, and now, so let's not just waste any time. We're going to go ahead and get started. There were some amazing themes presented for this contest, and a lot of them that I was just really curious to see how they would get carried out. Now this one is based off of War of the Worlds. We're in PvE Pyro Invasion on Typhoria, and it's based off of the 1938 presentation of War of the Worlds. And these alien walkers here are just wow.
Badass.
We tried to count the number of Necropolis arches that he used in here yesterday, and we gave up. And not just the walkers, but this dirigible up here that's made from existing boats and some mausoleums.
Yeah, that blimp is fantastic.
And PvE Pyro does some very interesting geometric work. He built a miniature village also under an awesome geodesic dome in another of his builds.
He's really used all of this dimension area too.
Yes, Three Springs was a pretty popular dimension for this contest. Not as much so as Anywhere. By far, most of the entries were located in Anywhere.
I love that guy with the chat bubble you were just looking at.
Yeah, I do too, and this guy laying on the ground here.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've listened to or read War of the Worlds, so I've got some catching up to do here. I really like this guy though with the white flag.
Hilarious. Love it. So we want to show all of the entries, and we're starting on Europe, but we'll end on NA, but we won't be spending a lot of time in any one entry, so we can try to see them all.
Yeah, and normally I don't mount up in dimensions, but sometimes for this I'm going to here and there.
S yes, same.
And here's another really good scene. And what I missed on my very first visit in here and saw in the second one was this little steamboat way out here in the water on the other side of the boundary. So there's some good illusory effects too. Now the one thing about this contest that I've noticed, especially in comparison with other contests, is just the number of effects that people used. Here's the captain going down with his ship.
So you want to head to Zaviel?
Well, we're going to make sure that we get this last little wheel thingy over here. And I can't encourage anyone to come and check these out in person enough. I know I saw a lot of touring parties out yesterday, and that's one of the best things about when contests end, is just like the touring raids.
And that's what we did yesterday. We toured in a group, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, there were, what, 5 of us, 6 of us?
Yep.
So there were a lot of details that we missed in this one. There's going to be a lot of details that we missed in most of the other ones too. So this does not in any way compare to a normal personal tour. And in case you were wondering, the sky projector in here is the River of Souls projector, which is a great choice for this dimension.
Love these 2 new ones we've got.
Oh yeah. Alright, so off to Zaviel.
Dreamcatcher first?
Yep, we're just going to go straight down the weekly here. I don't know what Archery does for a living, but wow, she looks like she could be an artist.
It's gorgeous.
It is, and this is off of a Russian, some Russian folk music. So we've got our research at least cut out for us. This cute little bird here, made from water motes and ink quills.
This ship is really cool.
It is. And just the approaches that people took with their entries, it's really an amazing variety. Some went straight technical, and others, like this one, really chose to go with a more artistic bent.
I just love the variety.
Yeah, and these.
It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's unbelievable how many varied and very different ideas people came up with. I mean, just so much imagination.
Oh, for sure. And there were a lot of the themes that I was really curious to see how they would play out. This was one that really was one of those, just because it was something I'd never heard of. So dimensions, I guess, are educational too.
Definitely.
Now we're going to go to the next one on the list, which is train number X2000 by Miri. Set in 3 springs. And the inspiration for this is like the bullet trains in Sweden and a lot of other countries in Europe. I remember when I lived in Germany, it was the ICE.
Just amazing details on here.
Yeah, I didn't even want to know how much time Mary spent fishing in Tarkin Glacier for all these ship engines. And the item limit for this contest was 2,000 items, and just what you can pull off in 2,000 items or less is just really astonishing. Got this control panel here.
Love seeing the line there too.
Yeah, and the details of the track.
Just great.
And this is kind of one of those things that just goes to show you really can build anything with building blocks. Do you like the choice of ticket taker?
Yes. You were talking about the item count limit of 2,000. One of the things that amazed me throughout the entries was the builder's ability to make it look like they had used many more items than that. I mean, the detail levels, attention to detail is just amazing to me.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, kudos to all the builders. They really pulled out all the stops on how much time and effort they spent on these entries. And as a player, yesterday was one of my most fun days in Rift, getting to go through and visit every one.
Oh, for sure. And then the next on the list is the Batmobile. And this was the Batmobile is the smallest entry. $126 items.
Unbelievable.
And again, with the effects, some of the new fishing items were used very well in all the entries. And this isn't the new Batmobile, it's the older version.
I love the selection of breach chamber here because it has a look of a place that you can really believe the Batmobile would be, housed.
Yeah, like a ready-made Batcave.
Yep.
And another thing about this one was, I talk a lot about the professional contestants, and I by no means mean that as an insulting thing. I love the professional contestants. When other people sponsor contests, I'm one of them. But just the number of new faces that I saw this time around. Alright, so we're off to Brisasol now. And the first one on Brisasol is April 15th, 1912 by Arwen. For those of us that are history buffs, April 15th is the day the Titanic sank. And there it is. When we first saw this one yesterday, wow. I mean, my jaw just dropped.
I'm still kind of dumbfounded when I
Oh,
zone
for
in
sure.
here.
And anywhere was an interesting choice for this one, to present the idea of being in the middle of the ocean. You have the iceberg here that the Titanic hit, and just the level of detail in this one is staggering on the ship itself. Here we tried to count purveying windows and we gave up.
I think the anywhere sky is just perfect for this theme.
Oh yeah.
And Arwen really took the terrain paint out a long ways.
And then,
Really do feel like you're out in the middle of the ocean.
yes, and then the most disorienting thing about this one is that you can run up the deck. So, and it once you get to the top and you're trying to get your way back down, it really is very, very, very disorienting.
It is vertigo. That was an unexpected thing in this dimension for me, was you have a tiny little feeling of what it would be like to be, on a giant sinking ship like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, for the
And
theme and the way it's
scary.
presented is just wow. I've seen a lot of boats and stuff when I've been out touring, but I don't think I've ever seen one quite like this.
No.
And I do have my settings turned down a little bit in case you're noticing that the terrain paint isn't constant. Um, for the streaming, having my settings turned up where I normally would for touring would just kill my frame rate. We'd be seeing a lot of stuttering and everything, so I have turned my settings down for the streaming. But wow. The next entry on the list is Ghost Ship by Sael. And there it is up above. There were a couple of entries that used Infinity Gate, and that was an interesting choice for Dimension to see if they covered it up or used it. I know this one pretty much uses it. The other entry does cover it up. And there's a number of ways that you can get up to the ship. There's either a series of elevators that you can take, or I think it's this ball right here. Yep.
Cool.
Yep, some interesting uses of material here. The hunt statues that you don't see a lot of people use anymore, probably because they were a Storm Legion item. I do like this ship's wheel capped with skulls. And then I'm going to assume that Regulus is the captain. And that's just an item that you don't see very often at all, the Regulus statue.
And they fit in great here.
Yeah, and one thing I did like about this one was that they used an existing boat. Um, we're on a river barge, and they overlaid all the other stuff on top of it.
Yeah, it's really pimped out.
And I clicked the thing while my UI was off, and now I'm back down at the bottom to see some of the detail on the other underside of the boat ship. And of course, the whole area down below is worth exploring to see uh, what Mortarhan has down here.
This is another one. It's 920 items, but it seems like so many more.
Yeah.
What's great about this contest is whatever your favorite style of dimension building is, pretty, scary, funny, you know, everything, it's all represented here, but it's so much fun to go and see all of the types.
Yes.
And that's one of the ways I think we get inspired because, it might not be my strong suit to think of, a beautiful dimension. So going to the beautiful ones, I get inspired with ways to come up with, other ideas. So I just love seeing the variety.
Yep. And since the last two that aren't open are on Brisasol, we're just going to go ahead and hop over to Brute Watch now. Where the WGS Guild turned out in force.
Yes, they did.
Which is actually a really neat thing, I think.
I love it. Huge collaboration and support for each other.
Yes. And it gives kind of a whole new meaning to friendly competition.
It does.
And the first one here is Chulia's Mississippi Steamboat. And Shorewater Island was really a fantastic choice for this dimension, and I like not just the dimension itself, but not just the steamship itself, excuse me, but the surrounding area that he added in. The details around this theater are just fantastic. Like these blinking blue lights. We're going to see them on the airfield as well, the gliding airfield. But here, it took us forever to figure out what those were, and they're waving eelgrass, which you fish up out of Gaboro Reef. Or, yeah.
Yeah, they're a really cool item. And I love that this he has the contest here. On the marquee.
Yes.
So fun.
But the star of the show is definitely the steamboat. I may never look at the ribbon post the same way again.
I thought that was so amazing using those. Very creative. Queen of the West is right. I think my most used word yesterday was wow.
Oh
And of
yeah.
course some that I don't want to repeat on the Roadshow. And so cool you can go inside too.
Yep, that's where I'm at now. We've seen a lot of Meliana Torsen around here. And the top deck of the steamboat gives a really good view of the town background that he made.
Definitely, I was just admiring that again.
And he made use of the green bubble here. Which is an effective way to cut people off from where you don't want them to go.
Definitely good access control.
So another great dimension from Julia. Next on the list is Doctor Who by Alejandre. And Alejandre, well, the inspiration is there in the name, is Doctor Who. I love these little guys down here. Great job on the outside of the TARDIS.
Absolutely. Terrific.
And even great job on the inside of the TARDIS.
For sure.
And this is one that used the fewest amount of visual effects. But that by no means lessens the cool factor of it.
Oh no, what's here is just excellent.
We've got all kinds of little doohickeys and lights and the ways to control this thing. And I can just imagine how much time. Yeah, it is. And I can just imagine how much time went into building this round structure.
Very labor intensive.
But you can see the outer shell of from out here. Next up is the Gliding Airfield by Frozen Rain.
Gus and Daisy are barking their approval.
Yeah, that's Daisy. Now, Frozen Rain is better known as Snow Protection, who usually does Harry Potter builds. I love this little mural here with the clouds and the glider made from caskets and benches and a table.
Me too, such a cute mural.
Another Anywhere. And he did just such a great job of setting background here with the windmills and well, the turbines that generate wind power, the little village in the distance. But these gliders are where it's at.
Wow. Cleared for takeoff, Fiendish.
Yep. I don't know how many things I drove yesterday, but it was a lot.
Everything. How many entries? You drove 24 things.
Yes. Well, now in a couple of them there was more than one vehicle type, so I flew, I drove
this
trains.
is true. I stand corrected. These whatchamacallit fingers are a really cool item to use here for the landing strip.
Yes, they are. And now we're off to Arachna's entry, Desert Steampunk Railway Station.
Another Anywhere.
Yep. But this train, oh my God.
It is wondrous. I love the multiple effects there from the stack.
Yes. Really works out well for the whole steampunk thing. And these doohickeys here. And yes, that is the technical term.
I always hear people exclaiming, "What will I do with all these rusted whatever outhouses?" Well,
Now you
here's
know.
a fantastic use for them.
And there's a little oasis back here that supplies water for everything else. With a leaking pipe.
Love that. So fun to get to see that steam power station or whatever it's
Oh, yeah.
called.
And everywhere there's whirligigs and all the Magitech items that we have in such abundance. Arachna really uses a lot of the articulated ship armors really well too.
Yeah, all the color and texture of the items used here just work perfectly for this steampunk theme. Such a great inside in the station too.
Indeed. And our last visit on Brutbot is by Reloir, who won the Setting a Scene contest, and hers is Superior Forces of the SL, which is short for Storm Legion. And this is another Three Springs. Now I do have my volume turned off so that we can't hear all the NPCs going off. Whoa.
They work so great here.
That they do. And she didn't morph just this ship over here, which is really hard to get into to get the full view of from the ground. Great use of this Crucius Lace terrain paint on here. And the Nightmare spinny thingies. The power-ups.
I just love seeing a theme taken right from Rift.
Indeed.
So fun.
I love these steel angels that she morphed.
They're just amazing.
And there is a little gem in this one. There's a guy hiding down in the well. But the one thing I really liked about this one were all these floating towers. I'm going to see if I can remember how to get to the ship. Aha, here we are. There we go. Forgot to turn my UI off. I apologize about that. So everyone could see how loaded I am over here. This command seat and the whole console is something else.
It is fantastic.
And this is all Storm Legion wall segments and wall posts.
See, now this is what I was talking about. This is an item I just kind of forget about. But it's wonderful.
Yeah, and the view from up here of the whole area down there is just wow.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Reminds me of some areas in like Steps of Infinity where I died horribly many times. Yeah, trying to get to level 60.
May I say, Fiendish, that outfit is particularly good in this dimension.
Thank you. And now we're off to Galidra. Let me make sure I haven't missed one here. Nope. So we're off to Galidra, which had the most entries of any shard.
You're doing great with the time, Fiendish. It's 12:43.
Yeah, I just checked that. And the first one we're going to go to is by Colette. It's called Cowgirl.
I thought this theme idea was so cool and different.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to have to look it up again. It's been a long time since I've seen Hackers. Love the way that he used these, the tubing. And some more of the techno-magic items that we get as decorations in here.
Oh, I love the spun out tubes.
Yeah. This thing. Some of the details of the canopy.
I love the idea of using the PvP flags to put you right in the pilot seat.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yep. And this guy right over here. Now we're outside of the main area, and I'm inside one of the racers that's out on the track below. Love the little wall art or the ads out here. This is a great way to show off what he did to all the surrounding area that you can't see from inside.
And so cool to have multiple vehicles.
Yes.
You're in one and I'm in another one.
Yes, to see it all from different perspectives.
I guess there was some fun role-playing going on in these vehicles yesterday. Rally's taking credit for offing Poppy.
Uh-oh.
That's not nice, Rally. Really creative and fun.
Yes, it is. We have our work cut out for us. And so the next one on the list is another one I was really
Speaking of Rally,
Yeah. Yep, Christine is next on the list. Now I was really looking forward to seeing how she pulled this one off. And there it is.
you know, Affleck was commenting on how much research the judges are going to have to do, but every builder did a great job on all the research that they needed to do, so now it's our turn so we can try to do our best judging.
Yes.
Wowie wow.
Yeah, this is from the movie Christine, based off of Stephen King's novel by the same name. And some of us may remember this scene. Who was it that got crushed by Christine there? I want to say John Travolta, but I think I might be thinking of a different movie.
Nope, not John.
Yeah, some dude.
Some bad dude who deserved it.
Yeah, John Travolta was in Carrie.
Yep, you got it.
Some amazing detail inside this car.
I mean, from the hubcaps to the door lock buttons to the upholstery, the detail here is mind-blowing. And the setting is also superb.
Yes. And our next one is by Polonomia, and it's called Cinderella. She is the only person I've ever seen use Paulette Promenade.
It's really a beautiful dimension. In spite of its name. Polyps are not something you usually equate with beauty.
Great work here on this carriage.
It is just amazing. It's so light and airy and beautiful in appearance. I think that was just such a challenge to achieve that, and I love it.
Then Cinderella's house here. I like the pumpkins here. That was a nice touch.
Definitely.
And they're on the way to the castle so she can meet Prince Charming.
You're not fooling anybody with that tour walk, Fiendish. Everybody knows you'd rather be going 90 miles per hour.
Yeah. Our next entry is Subway, which is the other Infinity Gate entry, the one that's covered up. And I'm always interested to see how people use Infinity Gate. I really like that dimension, so when I see it get used, I like to see how it's done. As always, some more good detail with the tracks here. Prague.
Very cool.
Here we can catch some glimpses of inside the engineer's thingy. And yes, that's another technical term. And here's the engineer himself. Or conductor, I guess they call him. I'm going to have to leave this one and come back in.
I had to too.
So just like on a real subway, you need to watch your step.
Just love this seating and the poles and all these details. The upper bars,
Yeah, I really like that you can
handrails,
get in this
whatever.
one. I think it's great when you can get inside of them and move around.
A route map, great
Yes.
detail.
Yes. And our next one is by Valorana, and it's called In 1972. We can relax here with some pizza and beer. I don't know, on a fun factor scale, this one was pretty high up there. This one was just a lot of fun to tour. I mean, they were all fun to tour.
Totally agree.
They were
It's
all
a
fun.
nostalgia thing.
Yeah. If you grew up in the 80s and you watched the A-Team, then this one was just a blast. And maybe someday Valorant will let me get around the corner to see this other car. And this is another one that the way they chose to present it was really Valorant outdid himself with the way he chose to present this one. And never mind that the A-Team van is just cool.
It is badass.
We got Mr. T here.
Okay, I promised I wouldn't do my Mr. T impression
Thank you.
today, so
Yes, you did it yesterday.
and you all missed out if you didn't get to witness it. That's all I can say.
And just the way that all the characters are arranged here in the van. But I really like this guy, the cameraman, rolling along his little track. And we got the director in his chair.
Love Hannibal's cigar,
Yeah, in this Jeep.
complete with smoke. Oh, the Jeep is amazing too. I went on YouTube and watched a video, and it's, I guess, the opener of the A-Team show, and it has a Jeep flipping just like this.
Yeah, that was his inspiration. Was the opening part of the the series introduction.
Yeah, it's amazing. This poor guy missed the stunt pad.
Yeah, and you can see the detail of the undercarriage on this Jeep. That's a really nice touch. That's attention to detail.
Yeah, and the spare tire and the gas can on the back. I mean, wow, features of a real Jeep. Really cool.
Yeah, and this guy plastered into the tree. That's just funny.
I was amazed by this camera.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what we would do without the carnival items, huh?
Totally.
But this one's called in 1972 by Valeriana Aguilera, who won the Total Transformations contest for the structural part. He does such great work with action scenes.
Just love, love, love all the details on this van.
Yeah. And then the last one from Galidra is by Morphine, and it's called Chalks Away.
You know, Detroit is representing here because we've got Plymouth, GMC.
Yes, they are. And here we are in the control tower. And yesterday I did become a pilot. Right here.
Yeah, this is another one you just kind of dumbfounded when you walk around the corner, see what's here.
And you keep not reminding me to turn my UI off.
Turn your UI off. Wow, this has amazing details.
Yeah, like the little flags out here.
Gun turret. Yeah. I like that. That's a good detail.
We got the hangar.
You can even go inside.
Yep. But one thing I really liked about this one was that Morphine didn't sacrifice the proportions to make the interior. And I love this little radio setup here.
Me too. One of my favorite features in here. Of so many favorite features.
And again, in the cockpit, we got all kinds of whirligigs and pedals and switches and stuff. And I tried to get down into the gun turret, but I couldn't fit down there. I might need to bring my dwarf over so I can go blast some stuff. It's a great job on this fighter plane. And I do believe that this is our last entry on the EU side altogether. Yep, so now we're going to go over to North America, and we're going to start out there on Lathis with the Alieноpolis 500. It was doohickeys, not hickeys. Are you over here yet, Diva?
Oh yeah.
I'm inside the Alienopolis 500. Which was
Gentlemen
another...
and ladies, start your engines.
That's right.
Another anywhere.
I think for this one a mech would be a good choice. And there's just so many vehicles in here. This thing here kind of reminds me of Mad Max.
It does.
And then this thing, I'm not... We got the Defiant boat here.
Wow, so many cool vehicles. It's really unbelievable.
Definitely. And again,
I think the race theme is really cool.
Yeah. I love these bikes.
Me too, I was just
The little
admiring
trike.
them. Yeah, it's so fun. And the driver. Very creative.
Yep, we've even got Great Father Frost in on the action with a gunner. And I also really liked this mech here that he made. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't know if I'm wrong, then I apologize.
Don't check under the hood on a live show.
Yeah. Whoa.
These are all so fun.
They are.
And they're so different. I mean, there's such a variety of them in here. Really, a lot of imagination.
Then we got some spiders here hauling their thing. But I really liked this one with the skellies.
Oh yeah, this one is awesome.
Yeah, the chained up skellies. I really like this one. It makes me laugh because it's cute. Another one.
This one with the sleeping resident is a hilarious one too.
Yeah. And the way he matched up his things is pretty awesome. And I do kind of like Arathea getting hauled by Fenric. That's the frozen people. Just a great concept here with the alien race.
And really fun use of items in here.
Yes.
The one you were mentioning with uh, Fenric, I love the use of the bubbles there to kind of define the, you know, idea of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, and this fair cage making like the tether.
Yes.
And this one is definitely, like I said, I got my volume turned off. This one is noisy. So it even fits because it sounds like there's a lot of crowd noise once all the NPCs are going off.
Really contributes to the feeling of action.
Yes.
And this is one that really points out that we're not exactly doing the greatest service to the entries today because we're speeding through here so quickly. And
Yeah.
I mean, this dimension alone, there's so many vehicles. You really want to have enough time to, take and examine each one because they're really fun.
Yep. But now we're off to Deepwood.
And in that Alienopolis one, 527 items. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like many, many more.
It does.
You said Deepwood.
Mm-hmm. With
Okay,
Kelda's Star Wars.
I might not follow you. Okay, good. I might not follow you anywhere, but I'll follow you to Deepwood.
Thanks. We've seen a lot of Star Wars Dimensions since we started the DTC, and they're all good in their own way. I really like this one. I love this little dude hanging on for dear life at the bottom of this chain.
Me too, this is a great dimension. Love this walker.
Yeah, and this using Kestrel's cry to simulate Hoth really worked out well for him or her. And this is only 1,200 items. And just the
Another
detail,
unbelievable.
yeah, the detail
Yeah.
that they've expressed in those 1,200 items.
Love all these consoles. Whatever over here.
Yeah. The consoles, the fiery burning wreckages of We've got guns here and a radar dish. And this little crash over here.
Wow, I mean, neat details.
Yeah, and it's even, you know, a kind of a neat detail that they put the snowbank over where the control panel of this little shuttle would be, so they didn't have to create that dash.
This looks exactly like how that shuttle would crash into, have a crash in this battle.
Yeah, but it all boils down to this little dude hanging on for dear life at the bottom of this chain.
Wow, and the underside details on this walker. Wowie wow.
Yeah, somebody spent a lot of time looking up this. Okay, and then we're off to my home shard of Greybrier to wrap up the last 5 entries. And we're going to start with Alpinia Lodge by Anaetta, who most of us know better as Animea. And first off, this is a great transformation of Anywhere. The snow projectors just really helped them out here.
Oh yeah, this is just great.
Yep, we got our guy here getting ready to start off his snow weekend or whatever.
I bet if you talk to non-dimensioning rifters, they would never believe the wide variety of themes and how much different research is required to build these things.
We got some cute little snowmobiles out here.
Very cute.
The primary entry is for the ski lift.
Love this ski lift.
Yep.
Amazing.
I don't know, Animea does most of her building by hand. I can't imagine what a pain in the butt it was to put all these poles together.
That's really fine work.
Yeah, this was meant to be an add-on friendly contest. Regardless of the stance that people take about add-ons, this was meant to be an add-on friendly contest. And just to do all this by hand is just wow. And she said a whole lot of background here too, all going in with that transformation.
There's a lot of area used
Yeah.
in this.
And the little guys on their snowmobiles are just fun.
They just make me smile.
Especially this one back. Oh, I think I missed him. I thought he was back here. Yep, there he is. The one that's crashed into the snowbank or the rock. Oopsie. Don't drink in snowmobile. And this one's using another new projector. I think this is the indoor-outdoor fluorifier. And so the next entry is by Aflac, and it's the Beverly Hillbillies. How long was that song stuck in your head yesterday?
Oh, not just yesterday, it's still going. It's in an endless loop. If you like, I could sing it for you.
No, no. I think when we all sang it in a round yesterday, that was enough. No one wants to hear that.
Okay, but if you think about it and
No.
want me to later, I'll be happy to.
No. Here we got some bubbling crude coming out of the ground. Ellie Mae. Jethro. Granny.
I love all the characters.
Yeah, I really like Granny. Little chickens out here. But this Model T is something else. And just to show that it is really the little things that make us happy, Affleck said that the pride and joy of this one was the horn.
Wowie wow.
Yeah, some really great detail on this car.
even the pump is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's just terrific details everywhere in this place. And I love the roof on the house.
Yes.
I imagine that took a fair amount of time.
Oh, I'm sure it did. But I think this whole place might have taken quite a bit of time. But our next stop is by Tantalos. It's called the Transportation Museum, and Tantalos is also known by Odentia.
And that doggie's amazing too.
Yes, it is. And what a spectacular zone and point. Now this one is only the first of many vehicles in this dimension. And I really like the way that he used the waterfalls in here.
Feel of motion is just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they do give a lot of feeling of movement.
And I think the tiles extend so you can go and get a look at this dragon, tech dragon, whatever his face. He's really cool looking.
Thank goodness there's no more fall damage.
Hey, before you run in, Fiend, if you run out here to this post, this is something I missed yesterday. It's just kind of a cool feature he added. He's made a bust of a baboon there using lights up on the front of his building.
Yeah, that is cool. I gotta get out of all these effects. They're killing my frames right now.
This is another one that seems like way more than 2,000.
It does, and the concept of this it was really good. I mean, just you know, vehicles. Well, how about we put them in a museum? And he named his displays. He's got some cute names going on here, like tuna bait for his boat.
So neat.
Yeah, and there's just tons of detail on this little thing. And then with these, he's got like the little corner displays. This here we've got some boating going on, like pictures.
Like the vehicle on display there in action in a scene.
Yeah. I really
Some
like
cool
this
wall
one.
art. Yeah, I love this
I
train.
really like this little train. Choo choo. And because here we have the Nightmare.
Wow. Scary badass.
Yeah. The Ice Lich. Which was not what I first thought it said. Very cool little motorcycle. And then this the car over here, the meat plow.
That one just makes me smile.
Yeah.
Really cool.
In this little vignette, we have a little cool helicopter.
Love that. Some cool lighting features in this dimension too.
Yeah, we're getting to that. This one,
Kitty Hawk, Kitty Hawk.
yeah, we got a guy hang gliding up here.
So awesome.
And then you look up, talk about great use of the light rings.
It's really amazing.
Yeah, to make this replica biplane here. Because no transportation museum would be complete without one. And then you come back to the historical section where we invent the wheel. So great little idea here with this. And the next entry we have is by Radish, and it's called Fly Me to the Moon. And just from the outside, this ship is just a wow thing.
It sure is.
And we were in here yesterday, and you have options of where you can go, and it's, you know, decisions. So we're going to take I'm going to take the right side first. And I'm inside the ship.
And the other one takes you up on that ring so you can get a much better look at the ship. So it's really cool to have both of those landing spots with the PvP flags.
Yeah, and she definitely chose some very interesting items here. We've got road barricades, stair railings, trophy items, painted wooden crates. I like the iron cages used as a way to hold the gear down.
Yeah, that was creative.
Yeah, and then all these little chairs.
There is so much detail on these center consoles.
Yeah.
And she's taken advantage of those anemone whatever fingers too. I think they're going to become a really popular item because they're pretty scalable.
Yeah. And they pulse.
Yes.
And not just that, but she's got the wall lamps here as decoration as well. Has a very steampunky flair to it.
It's stylish.
There's some great detail going on here. And that's going to bring us to our last entry, which was an early entry, and I really looked forward to seeing how this one played out. And this is by Hassan, and it's called Clogged Arteries. If you've ever seen the movie Fantastic Voyage, that was the basis for this one, where they shrink down the ship and a bunch of people in it, and then they send them inside this dude's body to get rid of, like, I don't even remember what they had to get rid of. If you're not old like me, then it was recently parodied on Archer. But I love the way that he made the arteries in here. This is all the brain trees and pustules, and we've got like cherry algae, and the red effects are doing a great job in here of making it seem a lot like it did in the movie itself. Are you in here yet, Diva?
No, I'm having a little trouble.
But I was really interested to see when this got submitted how exactly he was going to pull it off, and I'm very pleasantly surprised.
And it's not the dimension, it's my PC. This one's really fun. I mean, it's a really out there theme. I love it.
Yeah, of all the movies that there were to pick from, to pick this one. And you run along the outside of the ship to see its name here. And there's a lot of attention to detail on the ship itself.
Oh, definitely. And I love how this access steps are anchored to the walls of the whatever guts in here.
And here we are. I'm at the engine, or the pilot's area. Got some pretty delicate work here to fly a ship through some dude's body. But there were some great entries in the Get Up and Go contest. I want to thank everyone who did enter for taking the leap and doing so. No matter who wins or how it turns out, I hope that every person felt like they got something out of it.
And Fiendish,
Yes.
I think you just did a great job coming up with this theme for this contest. It's really one of the best ones ever, I think.
Thank you. It seemed to be a a pretty good challenge. if the numbers of people telling me that they hated me was anything to go by.
But I heard a lot of people talking about how much fun they were having building, so people seem to have fun. That's the main goal
It is.
for me,
It is.
in my opinion.
It is. My idea isn't, when I could do these things, I don't try to alienate anybody. I'm just trying to get you to have fun and think, and that's all.
You're creating a challenge, which should be fun, and I
Yeah.
think it is. So if you guys haven't made it out there to see all of the entries, our run through these is, doesn't do them justice. Go out, maybe get a raid group together and go out and tour them. I know that, I've already been through them all probably 3 times each, and I find new little details and, things that I love to see that I missed last time each time I visit. And they're just wonderful. That really sums it up. They're wonderful.
They are, and I thank everyone that stayed with us as we ran over today, almost a 2-hour show today. But thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you all so much.
And then next week we'll be taking an in-depth look at the winners. And I want to thank
Boy,
Tryon.
that should be an
I want to thank
exciting
Tryon again,
show.
Yeah, for supplying the prizes for this. A total of 30,000 in-game credits to use however you want. That could be
absolutely amazing.
a lot of dimension upgrades, a lot of wardrobe items, or a lot of lockboxes for mounts. Or the bigger part of a dye bucket.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
It's big bucks.
So thank you for everyone that watched today, and we will see you again next weekend. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, and we should be back to our hour format next week. So
Yes.
remember, you can catch us here every Saturday at 11 a.m., 7 p.m. GMT. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Yep, have a great week.